Good morning. Breaking news, a deadly hijacking involving a UPS truck in Miami, a botched jewelry store robbery leading to a shootout, and 30-mile high-speed chase on a highway at the height of rush hour. This morning, the innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire, and one victim's family
Other
with
tactics
tough
should have
questions.
been applied, and they weren't.
We'll have the latest from the scene. Don't mess with me.
The president leaves us no choice.
The House Speaker claps back at reporters at a fiery news conference and puts impeachment charges on a fast track when the first votes could be held just ahead. Searching for clues, officials on the scene this morning of a Black Hawk helicopter crash in Minnesota that killed all 3 National Guard members on board. The crew declaring Mayday just moments after takeoff. What went wrong? All that plus rideshare scare, the alarming new report revealing the scope of Uber's sexual assault problem. Thousands of cases involving passengers and drivers. Walking wounded, the sharp and shocking new rise in injuries from people texting and walking. And Cowboy down.
Missed. Touchdown, Trubisky.
The Dallas Cowboys handed their 3rd straight loss as the Chicago Bears come up with a big win today, Friday, December 6th, 2019. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Nice to have you with us on a Friday morning. And what a scene in Miami yesterday. The situation was frightening, and it played out basically at the height of rush hour on live TV.
It sure did. It all started yesterday. 2 suspects tried to rob a jewelry store near Miami. That led to a hostage situation. And then that high-speed chase, it turned into a deadly shootout on a busy street during rush hour. NBC's Morgan Chesky is in Coral Gables with details on this investigation. Hey, Morgan, good morning.
Yeah, Savannah, Hoda, good morning. And not only did this chase last nearly 30 miles, but it essentially played out right on live television. All of it starting when 2 men tried to rob this jewelry store, only the armed owner opened fire, sending those 2 men running for cover, looking for any getaway car. They found it when they carjacked a UPS truck. Its driver still inside.
The wild gun battle played out on a highway near Miami in rush hour traffic. Police chasing 2 armed men who opened fire from a stolen UPS truck.
It was pretty surreal. Yeah, it was crazy.
The frightening scene broadcast on live TV, set in motion just 30 minutes earlier, when police say the men tried to rob a jewelry store on South Florida's glitzy Miracle Mile. The owner had other plans, opening fire on the suspects who shot back, wounding 1 woman before running off.
They hijacked a UPS truck and kidnapped the driver.
What followed was a nearly 30-mile chase through northern Miami. Police cars trailing the truck as the suspects dodged traffic, swerving down sidewalks and even breaking through a neighborhood barricade. When police eventually closed in, the suspects unleashed a barrage of bullets.
There was exchange fire between law enforcement and the suspects, and unfortunately, the suspects are now deceased, but 2 additional innocent civilians were also deceased.
One of the civilians killed, UPS driver Frank Ordonez, a 27-year-old father of 2 young girls. His family says Thursday was one of his first days driving a new route. His devastated stepfather speaking out overnight.
When you saw that video, you knew.
I knew he was dead. He wasn't moving. For this to happen, I think it was just unnecessary. Other tactics should have been applied, and they weren't. So when I say the word devastated, it's an understatement.
Just so tragic. And Morgan, what about the 2nd civilian was killed? Do we know how that occurred? What happened during the shootout?
Savannah, a photo from that shootout scene shows what's believed to be that 2nd victim sitting inside a car hundreds of feet away from that UPS truck. Now, as for the circumstances surrounding this, police stress that the suspects opened fire first, giving the officers no other option but to return fire. And important to note, at this point in the investigation, it's still unclear who shot whom. Savannah Hoda.
Morgan Chesky with the breaking news. Thank you. And now to the latest on a historic decision in Washington. The order to draw up articles of impeachment against the president given by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi yesterday. This is a landmark move that makes just the third impeachment trial in U.S. history all but certain now. We have two reports from the White House. We'll start with NBC's Peter Alexander. Peter, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning to you. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi giving Democrats the green light to move forward with impeachment, wielding the power of her office in an effort to remove the president from his. President Trump and his allies blasting the effort as illegitimate and ill-conceived, while ramping up for a likely showdown in the Senate.